time no see, welcome back to me. It has been 6 months since I broke my leg, so I thought it would be appropriate to give a little update on how life is now, what kind of things I've been up to with my new and improved bionic leg, and just give you a little bit of a life update. So, if you haven't seen my previous video explaining how I broke my leg and like the first 6 weeks of recovery, I highly suggest you go and watch that first because I think a lot of this will make a lot more sense. But if you have watched that one, good. I hope that you are well. If you've broken your own leg and you're recovering, I hope things are going very, very well. And hopefully you can use this as like a positive story, because I know there's a lot of kind of like horror stories online about this surgery and this type of break. So hopefully you will take from this that it is not the end of the world and that you're going to be a-okay. So again, I've got notes, but I thought I would start by giving you a little scar update. So let's get that out of the way. So it's my left leg. This is how my scar is looking. I'm really impressed with it. I think it's amazing, especially this part here, which is like practically gone. I do have some dark areas kind of at the top and bottom. Elliot says it's because I picked my scar, which I claim I didn't, but if I'm honest with myself, we all know I did. So I've got that on that side. And then on the other side, I have a very tiny, like little kind of star-shaped one, I think. And this is just where the drain was during my surgery. If I just stand on the sofa, it is quite obvious, my scar. It doesn't bother me at all. I actually quite like it, if I'm honest. You know, I don't feel ashamed of it or embarrassed of it or like I have to try and hide it at all. If anything, it's like a conversation starter, and I quite like showing it off, if I'm honest with you. Since my last video, I have been having physio appointments every few weeks, kind of on and off. Sometimes they're 3 weeks apart, sometimes they're 6 weeks apart, like depending on how I'm doing and what kind of homework he gives me. So they are ongoing. I recently asked my physiotherapist how many sessions I get with him, and he was like, honestly, it depends how you progress and how well you do. I'll be here as long as you need me, which is amazing. I think that's an incredible service that the NHS provide. So yeah, I'm really, really chuffed with that, and him and I get on really well, and I always look forward to our appointments. So we're going to start back in April, which is pretty much where my last video left off, which is kind of like week 7. I actually went to Cape Town for 10 days, which I thought was a little bit ambitious because I was in my brace at the time and I was on crutches, but actually it was an amazing trip. It was completely fine. I most of the time walked around with just one crutch, or even no crutches sometimes, although I did feel like that was a little bit risky. But yeah, I was very much still in my brace. The others were going swimming in the sea quite a lot, which I couldn't join in with. I wasn't swimming at that point. And my leg was getting like occasionally sore, but on the whole, it was absolutely fine. I was just still in my brace. When I got back from Cape Town in week 8, I actually had my brace off. My physio gave me the A-OK and said, you know, you don't need this anymore. It's not doing anything more for you, so you can lose it, which was amazing. It was so liberating and I felt very, very free not wearing that big brace anymore. It was so heavy. It's actually still under the bed. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. It's kind of gathering dust under there. I guess I throw it away or put it in the loft in case I break my other leg another day. I don't know, whatever. So I got the brace off in week 8, which was amazing. In week 9, I started driving again. So I notified my insurance company to say that I'd had the all clear from my physio, that my left leg was strong enough to use my clutch on my car, which was exciting as well because I didn't have to rely on anybody to give me lifts to and from work. So I really enjoyed having like my freedom back, being able to drive myself again. Then we got into May, and in week 11 I went down to the hospital to have an updated x-ray of my leg, which I was so excited about because I had no idea what was in there. I'd never heard how many plates, how many screws, so I was very, very excited to see. So I went down and had an x-ray. This is what my leg looks like currently on the inside. I'm pretty sure it's 1 plate and 8 screws that are in my leg currently, which are gonna stay in there for my whole life. I think in America they quite often remove the hardware, but in the UK, as long as it's not causing you any issues, I'm pretty sure they just leave it in there. So I think that's gonna stay in there forever onwards from now on. Then in week 15, my physio referred me for a gym membership, which is part of this kind of like scheme that they have access to. And what it is that I get a membership to my local leisure centre for a reduced price. I can access the gym, the swimming pool, and any of the classes, and the little health suite with the sauna and spa, which is very nice as well. I was really chuffed with that, so I had my gym induction in week 15. But that was really fun, and I really wanted to like dedicate myself to the gym and become like a bit of a fitness girly. So I've been going, since I got my induction, I've been going 3 times a week. I haven't done any classes yet. I do about half an hour of cardio, mostly cycling, and then I do various leg weights, which I will detail a little bit later on. Then we get to June, and in week 16, I met with my surgeon again, which was really weird actually. It felt like such a long time had gone past, and it was strange to think that the last time he saw me, I was like unconscious on a trolley. But he was very nice. He basically checked over my x-ray and said, absolutely fine, it's healing great, you're doing very well, I don't need to see you again. And I was like, thanks. It was very brief, but yeah, he basically gave me the A-OK that he was happy with how everything was going. Then we get to July, and in week 21, I went on a PGL school trip with my secondary school that I work at, and we went down to France and did like a high ropes thing. And my mum was like, Harriet, we know that school trips don't go very well for you. I don't think you should do the high ropes. And I was like, shut up, mum. So I stuck on a harness and climbed up a ladder into a tree, did various zip wires and crazy things, and it was absolutely fine. I didn't have any pain, no soreness afterwards, no swelling, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was probably the most active I had been since breaking it. That kind of leads us to where we are now. So I've a few notes. As I mentioned before, I have been going to the gym 3 times a week, mainly doing cardio and my legs. The 3 leg machines in particular that I have been advised to use are the leg curl, the leg press, and the leg extension. So on the leg curl, I can curl 25 kilograms, and I do that with both legs at the same time. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but that's kind of where I'm up to. On the leg press, I do single legs, so I do my bad leg first, and then my good leg, and bad leg, good leg, blah, blah, blah. And I've been doing 40 kilograms on that, which I'm really impressed by, considering that is 1 leg. 40 kilograms, I think, is a lot. And then the leg extension, I also do as single leg, and I can only do 15 kilograms on that. So at the moment, it's just a case of kind of trying to increase those numbers slowly but surely. And then maybe I'll start to think about my arms once my legs are all finished. In terms of physio, or the things I can't do, I'm not allowed to run just yet. So I thought I was going to go on a treadmill, and I was really excited about it, and I'd applied for a place in the marathon, which I didn't actually get, thank goodness. But my physio said that unless I could do 30, I don't know what they're called, I'll insert a video of me doing them here, I guess like a calf raise, leg raise. Unless I could do 30 of those on each leg, he didn't want me to go on the treadmill, and I could only do 20 at the time. So currently my kind of project in the gym is doing a lot of those and trying to build up my calf muscles to get ready for running. Although I'm not allowed to run, I was running very late for a train recently, and I decided to run for it, and I thought I would be fine, and while I was running I felt fine. However, once I had stopped, it did feel really sore and like throbby, and that kind of reassured me that actually it is right that I'm kind of building up those muscles first before he kind of like allows me to run properly, because I don't want to do it any damage, you know. So yeah, not allowed to run, but did run and kind of regretted it. I struggle to stand up very easily from a squat position if I'm squatting all the way down. So again, I'll put a video here. If I am like bending down to get something out of a cupboard, or I don't know, something from under something, when I stand back up, I really consciously put more weight on my right leg to help me get up, because yeah, I think that's the trickiest thing, is getting up from a squat position is really the only thing I have troubles with. I also can't flatten it completely yet, and that's something that my physio was really like working on for a long time. For a lot of our sessions, he was doing various things to try and get it as flat as the other one. However, it's just not going. So I am still kind of working on that, but I've kind of given up a little bit of hope on that as well, which is fine by me. I don't really mind. And last but not least of the things I can't really do is swimming. I would have thought that breaststroke was like the gentlest stroke to do on an injury, because that's what the old ladies do, you know. But actually, doing breaststroke kind of hurts my knees. Doing front crawl is a lot better. Keeping them straight and doing this is much better than like, So I've been avoiding breaststroke when I have been swimming. But then we get onto the things that I can do. So I can fully bend my leg, like I can bend my foot all the way up to my bum, all the way. All of the metalwork is like below my kneecap, so actually it doesn't affect how much I can bend my leg. I can crawl, I can hop, albeit not as well as on my right leg, but I can hop on my left leg. I can cross my legs as usual, but I can pretty much do everything apart from straighten it, run, stand up from a squat, and do breaststroke. And other than that, my life is completely back to normal. Loving life, forever grateful and appreciative of everybody that kind of helped me during that time. Yeah, couldn't have done it without everybody, I don't think. And also just, I know I said this in my last video, but so grateful, and I do think about this a lot, that I didn't break my back or my neck that day. Because when I relive it, it is kind of like a trauma for me now. I'm not going on a ski trip again in February. And at the moment I'm undecided on whether I could ski again, whether it be mentally or physically. I'm not sure that I could right now, is like the mindset that I'm in. However, my surgeon was like, I really think you should go again, just to kind of like get over that mental hurdle. And then last but not least, the last thing I wanted to say is like the moment in my recovery that I think was like a turning point or a pivot point was the video clip that I included in my last video, this one, of when I took a few steps in the lounge with Elliot. I think mentally that was enormous, and that just showed me that like I could put my body weight on my bad leg, and that I could start, you know, making some movements towards walking properly. So if you are watching this because you are in the same boat as I was, I really suggest just like getting over the mental hurdle of putting weight on it. Right, I think that's everything. Thanks very much for watching. Please feel free to comment below. I will do my very best to answer everybody. And yeah, if you've got any questions of things that I have forgotten to mention, absolutely comment them and I will let you know. And thank you for all of the lovely comments on my last video as well. I think it was a really positive kind of community feel in the comments there. So thank you very much indeed. Have a lovely day, and I will see you, I don't know when. Did I acknowledge that I'm a brunette now? I don't think I did. Well, I'm a brunette now. Thanks for watching.